guys, welcome back. I'm gonna try and do a voiceover. Hopefully it works. I noticed last time I was a little late on what I was saying because the player's not working right. I've tried 3 or 4 different ones and then I don't have the money to pay for the other ones. So, but anyway, today we're gonna be working on Boog's tying issue. By tying issue, I don't know if you guys remember from a few videos ago, I told you that every time we tie him, if he knows that he can move the object, he just pulls it back and moves it. So we've been working with him on that, and I told you I did go before the girls left for an 1.5 to 2 hour trail ride and left him tied in a pasture to a strong railroad tie that's in the ground holding our fence together. Well, he does great with that, but as soon as you tie him back up to a fence that he knows he can move, like these panels, these round pin panels, he drags it back. Well, I don't think I did the videos with the girls. I think I hadn't started the channel yet, but I like Clinton Anderson's method of cracking the whip, jumping and running and hollering and throwing my arms up and waving my arms while horses tied to get them to stand there quiet and tied. He's going to be around their grandkids, the owner's grandkids and all that, so there's going to be a lot of running around. I don't want him panicking and freaking out when kids are running around being kids. So today, if you can see on my shoulder, we have an inner tube for a bike tire, and we're going to tie that to the fence and tie him to it, and hopefully he doesn't pull the panel back. If he does, you guys will get to see it on video. This is the first time I'm trying it with this, so you guys get to see it raw. Sorry about the waiting. I haven't tied a rope halter since I bought one, and I used to use web halters all the time, so I forgot how to tie it. I think I still have it tied wrong, but it should work. So I'm gonna let him stand there for a minute. And I guess I'm not gonna do a voiceover. Maybe, if I continue to do more after this. But don't worry for all those that, oh, it's so easy to tie a rope halter. I have a paper in my room. I just forgot to grab it because I forgot I undid the rope. So I'm just gonna let him kind of calm down for a second. The kids that you hear screaming in the background are my neighbor's Karen kids. Just want him to get kind of used to the idea that he can pull. I can just stand still before I do anything, but he may not. There he goes. Okay, so here I'm just kind of flinging around and I tripped, which is okay. I practiced tripping with him the other day, and he did okay with it. He freaked out a little bit, so we worked on that. So just be cautious the first time you're tying up a horse and working with them. They can feel claustrophobic because they don't have as much room to go anywhere. Whereas if you're holding the lead rope, they can kind of drag you around or run around and kind of get away. With tying, all they can do is kind of go backwards and move side to side. So just be careful. Just kind of working with them, clapping around, swinging around, bouncing. He does pretty good. I like how he turns and likes to keep his eye on me. Grabbing the whip, and I'm starting off from a distance, so I'm not just surprising him. And he does fairly well. He doesn't pull back or freak out like he used to. So I think tying him to a rubber post really helped him. That time he did, but he didn't continuously pull. He gave right away. Me walking away is giving him a release, and then going back in and continuing on. So you'll see me do his feet. Again, be careful picking up their feet. It'll be a little bit before you see it, but this is skipping so bad I don't want to miss talking about it. So you'll see me do his feet, and with the fronts he's really good, but again, they can feel claustrophobic, like they can't get away, and they can kind of act out in that. He does kind of, not really kick out, but he does kind of flinch his leg like he's upset that I'm touching it. And he flicks his tail, and his tail flicking is not because of the bugs, because if you're watching this right now, you can see he's not flicking at the bugs. So when he flicks his tail at the bugs when I'm picking up his feet, that's a warning not to do it. So I do 3 of his feet with him standing there, you do see me at one point kind of take my hand and pop him on the butt, and spanking him with a stick because I'm asking him to yield his butt over or to stop the attitude, and he doesn't do it. He knows when he gets a little swat with my hand that, hey, I'm dead serious, that you need to quit. And you'll see that I untie him for one leg, and then just because I got the feeling that he was really agitated and I didn't want to get kicked. They can feel trapped, and they can kind of feel like they can't get away, and again, they can act out. He has threatened to kick out at me a few times, so that is why I untied him for the last back leg. The swat with my hand that you'll see is just kind of to say, hey, quit acting like that. And then the swatting with the tarp and the end of the whip is me saying, move your butt over, which he normally does really well, and he just kind of decided, I don't really have to, so I kind of picked up the rope, and then he's like, oh crap, I do have to, and I kind of gave him a little swat. But that's not for a little bit. I just, with this video player, I didn't want to miss it. You'll notice when I do by his eyes and his head and his chin, he's still a little flinchy. A lot of people won't do under the horse's chin and chest in front of their front legs, and it really confuses me. Why would you do their head and their face, their neck and their sides and their butt, but not their chest and their neck? To me, I do every body part that I can. I like how he kind of yields. I'm keeping my distance just in case he gets a little freaked out. Not really worried about him kicking me, but you never know what they're going to do when they're tied up and you're doing all this. And they can kind of feel claustrophobic, like they can't get away. And then that causes them to blow up more. You'll notice he's a little fidgety. That's because I haven't done tarp work with him since the last video I did with tarp work. So, kind of, for him it's new again, even though he's had it then. It's just been a while. You can see his head's kind of high, his ears are kind of back. There he kind of looks at it. Right there by his face a little, by his chin, he's kind of saying don't. So I continue to do it. I like how he looks when I walk away, and then he yields. He's really good at yielding. Now, I will sometimes stop even though their head is high and they look worried, as long as they're not frozen. Like if you see me touching him right here, he looks kind of stiff and frozen. So I just continuously do it until he kind of relaxes. Even though it may not look like he's relaxing, you can see the difference in their stance. Sorry if you can hear the laughing in the background. That's my parents watching TV. Kind of flinging it underneath him. Flinging it up by his face. He does not like that. But he's not rearing up or striking or anything like that. He's just, if you look at his stance, he's worried. If I had him without being tied up and holding on blade rope, he'd probably bolt right now. There. Like, I turned away and breathed, and he walked forward and looked at me. And then kind of relaxed. It doesn't always have to be them cocking their leg or licking and chewing or lowering their head. they can just release the tension in their body, or kind of look at you and look at the object, and that can be a good place to release, because you have to start somewhere. You can't just sit there and do it for 2 or 3 hours till they cock their leg because they're bored of standing there. I mean, you could, but you're going to have a really dull horse, in my opinion. I believe it's right here. I'm asking him to yield. Maybe not. Yep. Asking. He didn't do it, so I picked up the rope and said, "Hey, I'm serious." He said, "Oh, okay." Doing his face. He's doing really good. This is just a piece of tarp that fell off, an old tarp. And it doesn't have the holes that you attach the bungee cords to, so I had to kind of tie it onto my stick and string. It was slipping, so that's why I didn't do really too much. Moving it on the ground underneath them, that can freak them out. There, he yielded really good. Just kind of dragging it on the ground. It makes noise. Kind of touching his back legs a little bit. And also, I had somebody ask if I have Facebook or Instagram. I don't really post much on either, but you can follow me on Instagram at 8 Pine Horsemanship. So here, I believe, is where I go to do his feet. You can see I'm further with his front feet than his back feet. I can actually pick him up and tap on him. And his back feet, I'm not at that point yet. We're getting there, though. Can't rush it. Just like we're getting him to lower his head. When I haltered him, you see he lowered his head, but then he kind of raised it up. It just takes time. Kind of working with his back leg. I don't really like the way he kind of kicks it up. So I kind of pull his head around, and I do kind of take my hand and swat him on the back. Just to kind of say, hey, look, I'm serious. You need to quit. It's weird because you can rub the whip all over his back legs. You can rub the tarp all over his back legs. He's completely fine. But as soon as you go to pick him up, he's kind of like, screw you, I don't want to be touched there. So me just kind of making him yield his butt and whack him with my hand once. That's just me kind of saying, look, you need to pay attention and you need to quit. You know me, I know you. You've been here almost 2-3 months. We know each other. You know you're okay. So there, he stopped moving it. So I just kind of gave him a break. Again, little things. I'm kind of standing at a distance in case he decides to cow kick. Like I said, he has offered to kick. He likes to pick it up, jerk it away from me, and take it back too, so I'm kind of working on that. Keeping my hand there. Now here I decided just to go a little further out, just because of the way he was kind of jerking his leg up. I'm not going to risk it if I don't have to. Now I know you can't see this side very well. But this is the side on the back leg that I decided to kind of untie him after a little bit. You'll see him flicking his tail quite a bit. when he wasn't doing it at all earlier. People think, oh, they just flick their tail because of the bugs. No, there's more than that reason that they do it. And that's probably how some people get kicked. They don't pay attention to the warning signs. Riley, quit licking me. I know, bug. My dog's just like, Mom's home. So there he kind of stopped, so I just turned away for a minute and gave him a break. Kind of asked him to move over for you guys. And I kind of decided, you know what, I'm not going to risk it, because if I go right there to pick it up, and he's against the fence tied up, and he tries to lunge forward, he could cow kick as he goes forward. So I just kind of decided to move him in a circle and go back and work that leg. Ask him to back up. Just kind of bring him in a circle, make him pay attention, because he tried to move when I went to go back to his foot. Now you'll see his attitude comes out quite a bit when he was tied up. But here I actually have to put the rope through my legs and kind of get a better grip so I can actually hang on to his leg. Because I don't want him thinking, oh, I get to jerk my leg and she's just going to put it down. I want him to kind of stop jerking, and so the way I do that is I grab the tip of the toe of the hoof and I just kind of hold it at almost like an angle, and he doesn't like it, so he stops. So we end on that note. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thanks, guys. Gonna end that there.